What's going on, everybody? My name is Jake and welcome back to more Pokemon Gaia. In the last episode, we got our adventure started here in the new ROM hack, the Orptus region. We got our starter, named our character, named our rival, and are waiting outside of a place called Arkan Tunnel to continue the story. So, I also went ahead and caught a Zigzagoon off camera for future HM purposes. Without further ado, let's go ahead and head into Arkan Tunnel and see what awaits us here. Again, it's been about 5 or 6 years or so, maybe more, since I played this game, so I really don't remember hardly any of the story. I lost my Stinga, he's my Weedle. We were playing in the tunnel when a tremor struck. When I woke up, Stinga was missing. No one is going in here until I find him. Hey, that Redwood card. You're another one of the Professor's aides. That means you're a strong trainer, right? Please help me find Stinga. He's somewhere in here, I just know it. Alright, so I guess if you go in there before, opening your Redwood care package, the little kid will turn you away, all for a freaking Weedle. And I guess we'll find, what encounters we get here. Whismur. I would not honestly be opposed to losing, like, a Loud Red and Exploud. I don't think they're the best Pokemon. But just for the sake of, again, with these ROM hacks, you don't really know what Pokemon you're going to run into because it's all, a combination of a bunch of different generations and, I guess I could research ahead of time and see what Pokemon are in the game and on what routes, but I kind of like the surprise factor, so I know Whismur's not a great Pokemon, but again, just, if I feel like using an Exploud, because it's a Pokemon that I haven't really used that much before, we at least have the Whismur on our team. And also, as you saw there, I noticed this when I was catching Zigzagoon off camera, that you get experience for catching Pokemon. Rock and Roll is also an interesting one, a Pokemon that you would normally need a trait evolution to get. I'm going to hold off on catching this for now, because I'll have to look up if you remember on Pokemon Glazed, if you watched any of that LP, we were able to get a Gengar because there are trade stones in the game, which allows you to evolve Pokemon that would otherwise require a trade evolution. Because obviously in these ROM hacks there's no way to trade, so yeah. I believe if I'm not mistaken, Rock and Roll, you can get its second stage evolution, but then its full stage, Gigalith, I think is its name, you need a trade evolution. So anyway, we get our first NPC trainer battle here. We've already battled our rival once and beat him. But yeah, as you saw when we caught Whismur there, you get experience for catching Pokemon, which was introduced in Gen 6. So yeah, I don't know how up to date. I'm obviously playing the latest version of this game, so I don't know how up to date some of the game mechanics are, if it, spans from Gens 6 to 1 or whatever it is, or maybe even later games. But kind of another incentive to, catch different Pokemon, both for potential team members as well as the experience factor. So no problem there dispatching our first trainer battle. We get an escape rope, which might come in handy later on. I don't have a grass type move yet, so I might want to avoid this guy in case he's a trainer, because I don't want to run into a rock type trainer and not have anything for super effective damage, so I'm going to walk around him for now. Thank God he didn't turn my way there. And unfortunately we're early on in the game, so obviously we don't have any repels. Zubat could be interesting. I do like, Golbat and Crobat, and Crobat's a happiness evolution, so we wouldn't have to worry about, needing a special stone or anything, just need to raise its happiness, although I've had some mixed results with happiness evolutions. If you watch my Pokemon Crystal LP, I had a hell of a time getting Eevee's happiness high enough so I could get it to an Umbreon. This looks like the required battle here, so let's go ahead and take him on. I want to battle him one day, I'll use you as practice. Yeah, right, kid. I'll use you as practice, you little shit. And he's got a Pidgey, just level 4, so early on, we'll be able to sweep through some of these NPCs and keep trudging forward. There we go. Looks like I have some work to do. Yeah, you do, buddy. Alright. See, there's another youngster here. Are you a trainer? This game is teaming with wild Pokemon. I don't think I'm prepared. Pussy. No, I'm just kidding. A Dwebble. I know this is a bug rock type Pokemon. I've never really liked Dwebble. It is Gen 5, so it's one of my, it's my favorite generation of Pokemon. But, yeah, I'm not really big on Dwebble. I'm going to use a potion, not because I want to fight this guy up ahead, because again, I don't want to risk him having a rock-type Pokemon, and all we have to offer is Tackle, which he would resist. So let's try to avoid those hikers at all costs here until we at least learn Absorb. I mostly caught the Whismur just because I like Loud Red, its evolution. Mainly from the... Oh, jeez. Must have been one of the tremors they keep talking about. I like its evolution, Loud Red, mostly from the Pokemon Mystery Dungeon games, if you've ever played those. Loud Red. Oh, Makihita, one of our Pokemon Emerald team members. Well, Makihita, I like you, but I just use you to play in a different playthrough, and we have a lot more variety of Pokemon here. In this game, it seems like it'll span up to Gen 6 at the minimum. So if we want to go a fighting type, we'll have some other routes to go. But, gotta love Makihita. Makihita's evolved form Hariyama was the final Pokemon we had out in the championship battle against Wallace. So it'll always have a special spot in our hearts. Went up this ladder. Feels like I'm going the wrong way, honestly. Alright, now this is interesting because Joltik is one of my favorite Pokemon ever. And I always use it in black and white, but I've said this before. I'm not like super strict on not using repeat Pokemon. Like whenever I play black and white or black and white 2, whichever one on the channel, I'm going to have a Joltik on one of those teams. I absolutely love Joltik. More so its evolved form Galvantula, which is ironic because I hate spiders. But, let's see. I'm just worried that I might accidentally take it out if I use Tackle since we're 6 levels above it. I've only got 3 Pokeballs left. Let's try throwing one with full health. And he breaks out. Ah, I'm scared that we can knock it out if we use Tackle. I'm stupid. I can literally switch to one of my other Pokemon. Let's go to Zigzagoon, I guess. So it using Leech Life might make it a bit annoying because it's going to be able to recover health that we're chipping off of it. But yeah, I really like Joltik. This is definitely, of the Pokemon we've caught so far, the most likely I would actually use for the team. I think its evolved form Galvantula is one of the coolest designs in all Pokemon. I love its typing, Bug Electric, and it knows some really good moves. I've always liked this Pokemon so much, so definitely going to catch it. Not going to guarantee it a spot on the team, but I mean, we're kind of a ways off from playing Black and White on the channel. This Pokemon was also in Glazed, and I thought about using it, but we wound up going different routes for the team. Alright. Let's go ahead and throw our second to last Pokeball at it. Hopefully we catch it so we have one more Pokeball left in case we want to catch something else. There we go, we have caught Joltik. And Zigzagoon will get some experience from this. There you go, buddy. Alright, the attaching Pokemon, they attach themselves up to large body Pokemon and absorb static electricity, which they store in an electric pouch. That's definitely the Pokemon I've encountered so far that I'm most likely to use for the team. Okay. This looks like something here. What in the world? It's a freaking Clefairy, what the heck? Hold on. Let me heal up in case we're about to encounter something crazy here. Okay, this is just an encounter. I wonder what level this thing's going to be. Level 5. I really don't have any interest in catching Clefairy, so I guess we'll just defeat it. Yeah, if this was like a more tempting Pokemon, I'd definitely try to catch it. But it's got a boss theme and everything. I guess I could try to catch it. I have one more Pokeball left. Okay, Sweet Kiss. Does that cause confusion? Yeah. Why not? We got one more Pokeball left. Might as well throw it at it. If we don't catch it, then we'll just knock the thing out. And there we go. Now we have a Clefairy. So, very early on, and we almost have a full team. I'm definitely going to probably box the Clefairy at least, but I don't know, it just seems kind of fitting to catch it rather than just knock it out because it's in this special area here. That's kind of funny. It has like this super, not like super secret location, but a special location in the tunnel, and then you get there. And not hating on Clefairy, but it's a little anticlimactic, so. Alright, I'm out of Pokeball, so unfortunately can't catch anything else, but I mean, if we encounter something that I potentially want to add to the team, I can always come back. But yeah, you can find a wide range of Pokemon in here. Like that youngster said, it's teeming with Pokemon, as those are his words, not mine. Zubat's another Pokemon I like a lot, but again, I don't know, it's just like a Pokemon that's like super ubiquitous in almost every Pokemon generation. So if I'm going to go with a flying type in this game, I might try to look elsewhere, but I think I'm just trying to, like, alright, Turtwig's big weakness right now is flying and fire. Joltik doesn't cover that because of the bug subtype, but it does cover the flying weakness. Turtwig's also weak to ice, so eventually we'll probably have to pick up a fighting type because Turtwig, when it evolves into Torterra, is going to have a big weakness to ice. But yeah. I'm going to use the freaking Joltik, man. I love this Pokemon so much, and we get it super early on, so we're kind of susceptible to fire types, but I don't think it'll be anything that will kill us. And there's water types literally everywhere, so my only worry with these guys right here is that they're going to have rock types because we have nothing for them. Okay, doesn't have a rock type. He's got Drillbur, which is another Gen 5 Pokemon that I really like. Let's go ahead and just switch train here. Get Joltik some experience while not having him at threat. As you saw there, his nature is not very good. Lowering the special defense while raising speed because Joltik's speed's good as is. There we go, we learned Absorb, so I'll at least do those. God, my cats are going fucking crazy in the background. I'll at least do those hiker battles off camera, because I've already taken up a decent portion of time here in this early episode catching various Pokemon, and now we're going to have to be switch training. Yeah, I skipped out on using Joltik in favor of some other Pokemon in Glazed. And again, getting it so early on, I like the Pokemon so much, I feel like I'd much rather use it than not, and see if we can fill it out with a different team member that, you know, I don't typically use. Alright. So let's keep going forward. I did not Okay, Swarm. I don't know if Compound Eyes is its secondary ability or if it gets that when it evolves into Galvantula. Swarm's not a bad ability by any chance, but Compound Eyes is definitely a pretty good one. If I remember, it like makes its accuracy super good. Can't remember the exact terminology of it, but I'm not one to, unless there's like a stark difference in the usefulness of a Pokemon's separate abilities. Like for example, Growlithe, like, oh, okay. I'll get to that point in a second. Ah, you made it. This is Saros Village. The part of Arcantunnel I had nothing of interest, it seems. There's definitely increased seismic activity there, though. My tools are never wrong. Maybe we're just not looking in the right places. Perhaps there's a second entrance to the tunnel? This is my hometown. I could ask my parents about a second entrance. Then it's settled. I'll go to the Pokemon Center and ask around there. Good luck, you two. Hey, you should check out the gym. The gym leader is Fernando. He uses fairy types. He's the grandson of the daycare folks. See you around, Gaia. So yeah, definitely going to have Pokemon up to Gen 6 with the fairy type in here. Let's go and heal up and then see if there's a Pokemon Center, or not Pokemon Center. We're obviously walking into the Pokemon Center. See if there's a Pokemon Mart so that we can buy some more potions and Pokeballs. And while we're here, I'm going to go ahead and deposit Clefairy. If you're a big fan of Clefairy and we're hoping that I would use one, I apologize. I'm just not a big fan of Clefairy and Jigglypuff. They're alright, but I've never really used them in a playthrough and don't really have any desire to. So, and as much as I like using new Pokemon that I don't typically use, I would rather still use Pokemon that I like. And in every LP so far I've used... Oh, there's a little Weedle. I kind of forgot about that little side quest, to be honest with you. You there, excuse me. My, you wouldn't happen to be the trainer who saved this Pokemon, are you? You are? Oh, thank you, that's my son's Weedle. He has been so traumatized ever since he lost it. He told me he sent a trainer to look for it. I didn't believe him, but here you are. I must give you something for your help. Take this, please. We get a Soothe Bell. Wow, what a good item to get. That will raise the happiness of all the the Pokemon that you give it to. So, if you do, I think I'm going to pass on Zubat in this. But if you're playing along and catch a Zubat, I would definitely recommend giving the Soothe Bell to Zubat because it'll help you get it to Crobat a lot faster. So, just know you've made my son very happy. Goodbye, trainer. Good to know. Good to know. And honestly, I'm saying I might pass on Zubat. That could very well change in a matter of, like, between this episode and the next, honestly. There's one flying type that is in Gen 5 that I typically don't have access to because I usually play Black, and it's a version exclusive of White. If it's in this game, I think I would want to use that for the team for the flying type instead. But we'll see. Obviously, Zubat is not a bad option by any means, and knowing that we get the Soothe Bell, yeah, that could definitely affect my thought on that. Also, if we get an Eevee later in the game, like you seemingly do in most Pokemon playthroughs, if we wanted Umbreon or Espeon and go that route, the Soothe Bell could come in handy there. So, whatever way we go, the Soothe Bell can definitely come in handy. For now, though, we got to focus on the Switch training, which I know is not the most exciting thing, but like I said, I'll go back and fight some of those hikers off camera now that we have Absorb. And yeah, hopefully get our levels a little more evened out here. I guess for the rest of this episode, we'll just ask around, or unless we're expected to go straight to the gym before asking around for the second entrance to the tunnel. But we'll talk to some NPCs and see if we get anywhere with that before ending this off, okay? And there we go. Yeah, definitely just thinking ahead with Turtwig, our starter, when it fully evolves, having a major weakness to ice types, we're definitely going to have to look to... Oh, wow, a rare candy. How about that? Definitely going to have to look to add a fighting type in this game, so, you know, good to know that there's Makuhitas in the tunnel here that we could always come back to. And I'm certain there's going to be other fighting types at our disposal. Honestly, I'll do some research and see if there's trade stones in this game as well, or some type of item that allows you to evolve what would normally be trade evolutions. But I could really get... Oh, there's this... Okay, so we need the cut HM because it's right fucking there. I could really get down with using a Machop because I've never been able to use Machamp before because of, you know, the trade evolution limitation. So if I can get Machop in this game, I would definitely look to go that route. There's also a fighting type in Gen 5 that I really like, Menfu or Mienfu, however you pronounce it, that I've always liked. The problem with Mienfu is that it doesn't evolve until level 50, so as much as Mienfu and then its evolved form Mienshao is a good Pokemon, and I like its design, it's just a pain in the ass to raise because it doesn't evolve until level 50, which is like outrageous. The daycare is here, so I think I'm definitely going to drop off that Whismur, just in case I do wound up deciding to use a normal type later in the game. And I do like Loud Red in its fully evolution form Exploud. Wouldn't hurt to just leave the Whismur here for a little bit and, you know, have the daycare lady raise it. I'm not going to give her Zigzagoon because I'd like to keep Zigzagoon on the team for HMs. Okay, looks like there's a couple different connecting routes to Saros Village. Okay, yeah, here's a Gen 6 Pokemon. So Spritzy, I believe, is a pure fairy type, if I'm not mistaken. No interest in that. But, okay, I'm guessing we can find Floettes in these little flowery grass patches. Which, Floette and its evolved form are not bad Pokemon, Flabebe. Floette's the second stage evolution, if I'm not mistaken, of Flabebe. So it seems like, okay, Mareep. I do prefer Joltik to Mareep, and, you know, we can get Mareep in the Gen 5 games, as well as, you know, obviously Heart Gold, Soul Silver, or any of the other Gen 2 games. That's another good electric type option there, so I mean, there's some really good Pokemon here at the beginning that we can add to the team. A Schnubble, yeah, not my favorite. Intimidate is good. Maybe I'll catch one off camera, just, again, to, you know, be able to switch out to Intimidate an opponent. Could be useful, but as far as for the team, I'm good. Shinx, I'm telling you right now, when I play Platinum on this channel, I'm going to catch a Shinx, so yeah, we'll pass on that for now. Another Shinx. This one has Intimidate, so this is an example of, like, I would search for a Shinx with Intimidate as opposed to, I don't even know what its other ability is. Maybe Lightning Rod, where it draws in electric attacks. But yeah, Intimidate to me is the much better ability of those two. Okay, we're just finding all sorts of Shinx. I'm sorry, I like Joltik and Galvantula better. Just my personal preference. Oh, I was hoping we didn't trigger his sight range. I guess we can do this battle and then probably end things off, because it seems like, you know, there are these connecting routes to Saros Village. But other than that, there's not a whole lot to do other than just training, going to the gym. So we'll do this battle and then end things off, and I'll catch up on those hikers that we skipped in Arkin Tunnel, and then next part we'll be ready for the gym battle. I'll probably catch a Snubble off camera just because I don't usually ever catch Snubble, and it'll be good for Intimidate. just in case we get into a sticky situation and need to switch into that. Could be useful. I did the same thing in Glaze when I caught Ekans, so even though I had no desire to actually use it for the team, it was good just in a pinch, needing to lower our opponent's attack by a little bit. And a Fletchling, okay. That's interesting. Fletchling is a Pokemon that I don't normally use in the playthroughs, especially when I do Gen 6, because I usually take Charmander for a fire flying type, but you know, if we're able to find a Fletchling around here, that could certainly be a team member option, because I think Talonflame's pretty cool. But again, if we're having up to Gen 6 Pokemon, there's a flying type that I don't really ever get to use that I've always liked. And we get a critical hit. I didn't really want that to happen because I wanted to switch out to Joltik, but whatever. I guess I could have done that right away. Alright. We defeated youngster Harry. Looks like I'm fresh out of luck. I also might catch a... Is this one of those people that, like... Yeah. Alright. Yeah, we're gonna have to wait till she's done. Okay. She's waiting for Art Master events. I guess let's run around a little bit more and see if we can find any new Pokemon. Starly, okay, again, same thing. I always use Starly when I play Gen 4. Like, there's a reason Starly and Shinx are so popular in Gen 4. It's because they're good Pokemon. And typically, you don't find Pokemon that good on the early routes of games. Like, it's usually, you know, the Rattatas, and Pidgey's not terrible, but not the best. You know, Sentret, Wurmples, Puchainas, you know what I mean? Like, Pokemon that aren't very good, but in Gen 4, the Starlies and Shinx are some of the best team members you can have in the game, and you get them right off rip. So, I'm just like anyone else when I play those games. I use Shinx and Starlies a lot. So, I'm going to pass on those. Okay, Nidoran. We used Nidoran in our Fire Red LP, and... well, Torterra's already going to have a ground type later on, so I'm going to pass on that. Same thing with Bunnelby. I don't really like Bunnelby nor its evolved form. Pass. Let's go through a couple more encounters here, see if there's anything different from what we've already seen. There's a Mareep. We've already seen that. We already also have an electric type. Alright. I think we can just go ahead and end things off here, so... Like I said, I'll do some of the trainer battles that we missed in Arc and Tunnel off camera. And yeah, we'll be ready for the gym battle, alright? So, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode of Pokemon Gaia. And yeah, next time we'll do the gym battle here in Saros Village. I'll see you guys then. Goodbye.